Morning. I just wanted to talk to you about these ink swatchy books. They are 2 inches by 2 inches. They were inspired by Jennifer Maguire, who organised her ink this way. I've started to build up quite a nice collection of all the different inks, from Stampin' Up ink to Distress ink to Altenew. So what's really nice about this is that you can actually really see all the different colours, and even though that you may think that you've got, I don't know, so lots of different blues, is actually the contrast from really dark to really light is really nice to see it like this. So you can actually really bespoke your projects to sort of get to the point where you can really tally everything in quite nicely. I had run out and I've purchased more of these. These were bought on eBay. They were about £5 for about 10 of them. It wasn't expensive at all. I've put these rings on them, but you can obviously put them in a folder. You can just put one ring, however you want. That's the good thing. The only thing I had noticed with these ones, let me go back to this one, is there's like a little sort of lip here. So for example, if I was to slot one in here, so let's do this. I'm sure there's other ones on the market, but this is just something to think about. So I put one in. Oh, okay, it needs a flat surface. Obviously the lip is, you can tuck it in behind it. I think these were originally designed for like coins and stuff, but obviously I don't want to do that. The problem being is if you want to then stick something behind it, it's not a massive problem, obviously. That's why if you put it in the lip, you'll have a little bit of a struggle. So you could do that to make sure you utilise the back as well. But at the moment, I'm just sort of filling the fronts. So that's sort of, how that works. So what I want you to do today is bought some more colours that I need to sort of do the little swatch, and I thought I'd show you that. It's a really simple way. There's lots of different techniques to doing it. I'm using the Misty. Here it is. And this circle stamp set is from Stampin' Up. It's from Project Life, and this is the Life, and it's just a circle one. You can use whatever colour, shape, whatever you feel is, works for you. I just wanted a round solid shape. I didn't want anything particular. What I will say is I've actually done a little flower for the zig brushes, because obviously I wanted to sort of colour in the different petals and stuff. I'm not quite sure whether this is the right cardstock, to be fair. It bled a little bit, but obviously that's it's fine. But what I did is I embossed the flower onto everyone, and as you can see with this, if we compare, is when I printed these off on my computer, obviously this one's gone up a little bit too far. So again, it's just setting the computer, making sure the card's in, printing stuff. So I haven't yet finished all these, but these are these are great for seeing what you've got. Also, even though I've got these, I've started to collect the Nouveau drops. I was very lucky that my husband visited America last year, and he managed to pick me up some. So that's really nice, and I've got a few of these to do today. Again, just simple drops, just to sort of see the variations in size. I quite like these. I think these make a great addition, lots of different embellishments. I've also got card stock as well. So like with, the ink, it's nice to have the true card and not guess, so then you can sort of, decide how you want that. So here's lots of different ones. I've still got space to grow, which I will. This is quite nice. I love seeing all the colours like this together. And actually it's surprising how many greens I have. Blues and stuff like that. So this is, you know, this is a great idea. So, and then also I did the embossing folders that I had as well. So as I was organising my room, I decided to cut out a sample of the embossing folders that I had. And all I did was just use my label maker just to put the name on that. And I thought that worked quite well. Excuse me. And yeah, so I don't use embossing folders enough because I think they're sort of out of sight, out of mind. But this way you can really look at your projects and think, oh, actually this would work with that. So my aim this year, is something sort of on my list of to do is try and use a bit more of the embossing folders. And I've seen some great techniques. Lots of people are using embossing folders a bit more now. So yeah, so that's that. So what I'm going to do today is just do a few swatches that I need to sort of do. Now I created this. There was another video on my YouTube actually. I am very new to YouTube. I am not technically minded at all. And I apologise that when I filmed my craft room, they were in the wrong format. So I'll use my phone, and I should have really done it landscape, but it was in portrait. I was holding it. So I do endeavour to sort of do my craft room again. I have questions all the time about my craft room. And if you obviously do follow me or you're on my Facebook group, so it's Sally Foss Creative Corner, you can see how the craft room was built and how it is, you know, at this point, how it's evolved over time and how, you know, we got to this stage. Anyway, so this was an old stamp, wooden stamp. I don't even know where I got it, probably from a boot sale, second hand. And I realised I didn't really use that one. So what I did is I took the stamp off and I created this little mini scrubber. And this was, it was like £1 from a craft store. Here's the other part. So it was about, I don't know, a quarter of it. And all I did was cut it. I think I even used the guillotine to cut it and then score it and then sort of just snap it down. But it's just a cheap, basic scrubbing mat. We obviously do, I have this one. So this is my Stampin' Up scrub mat. It's the same stuff. It's just, you know, a bit of material. A lot of people use baby wipes. A lot of people use shams and sort of other cleaners and stuff. I just made this. It's not perfect. I've noticed that, you know, sometimes it doesn't clear properly, but it is a good solution to getting really dirty and stuff. But, you know, try it, see how you get on. I do also use the stamping mist as well, so which I would use on the larger one, so just to sort of keep the rubber stamps clean. So here's my wipes as well. So this is what I'm using. So the first one I'm doing is this one. These are just minis. I'm very new to using mini inks. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, only as a hobbyist. I don't sell and things like that. But I quite like using other brands and other variety of ink. And it's nice to actually just buy the small one, because you know, if you're not sure of the product or you're not sure of the colours, then your investment is minimal compared to paying, you know, a lot more for like a larger one. So that's sort of how I've come to that. I'm just going to use my Misty, because obviously that's easier. This, I've just kept that there because I obviously was doing a lot more last week. So making sure that you're stamping up. The way I can see the position of this is actually a lot taller. So I know I'm going to get a little bit closer. So what I might have to do is just tiny. Just put that underneath there just a little bit, because what we want to make sure is that I don't want to touch the wording, and that way I won't have to redo that. Obviously we have to appreciate that this might get in the way, so let's move that. Now I've changed the layout a little bit. Ooh. This, I think, is a tad too big. Can you see? So this is why it doesn't sit comfortably. Let's remove that. Lots of people use these metal bars, and I realised I didn't have the dimensions when ordering it, so I just sort of thought, well, yeah, that will be fine. It was literally a couple of pounds. It wasn't expensive. Not quite the right depth, so I need to obviously rejiggle that. You know, the round ones are absolutely fine. I just wanted to use what other people were using. So, and these are the round ones. Again, a bit of washi tape. That was a great idea, whoever created that. Just so you've got something to pick up. When they stick together, they are almost impossible to get apart. So as you can see, I'm having to do this a few times. This is Nina. I'm unsure whether the Nina cardstock that people are using in America is the same that we use here. And let me see if I have a pack. This is it here. So this is what we would be able to buy in the UK. Products are very different from the UK to America. So it seems okay. It's pretty reasonably priced. I've got this from eBay, but I know companies like The Range do a lot of Crafter's Companion products, so you have to shop around. So this is what I'm using. You know, so that seems fine. That's that one. So I've just sprayed that. I'm going to clean off the stamp, so you know. This one seems a little bit better, as in the depth of that. Again, making sure that I've got the correct one. You don't really have to print this off, actually. I realised that not having a printer at home can restrict me in organising my craft supplies. So, but you could just use a label maker. A little label on that would be perfectly fine. Or handwritten. We'll say that my handwriting isn't best. And actually this is certainly more legible, but also a lot neater than handwritten. But you know, whatever resources and tools you have to hand. So yeah, I am going over it a few times. It could be the cardstock that's not absorbing it, or it could be just my technique. Again, you know, I am not an expert. I'm just a wee crafter that just likes to play around. So again, another one. See, that seems to be quite a solid colour, the purple. So here we go, another one. This is a nice colour. So what I realised is sometimes it's not a true colour of what's on the front, not, you know, and stuff like that. So picking up this, you might go, oh, you know, that's a little bit different to actually how it's printing out. And this is not, you know, one stamp. This is two, maybe three, so it will be a little bit darker. But if we go back to, say, this colour, you know, there is a slight difference. Purple, that's pretty good. I think a lot of people what I've seen is, so they might print this off and then I'll just put some dots of the colour or the name, depending on how you store it. I can show you how I store mine, that you know, that works for me at the moment, not putting anything on the sides and stuff. I had to retype some on the yellows because I think I didn't quite clean the stamp off and it sort of cross-contaminated the yellow. Again, you know, mistakes happen. So that's that done. Clean the rest of that off. I've just been leaving that in there because to sort of make life easy. So here we go. I love the shape of these ones. Normally they sort of come in like little mini cube sides. You know, and I think they're really good. So for example, I've got this little unit that holds 8. Here's the mini small ones. Obviously these are a different size. So, but I've got 8 in there. And let me find an example of, here we go, and here I can manage to squeeze 6 of them in, so that is quite a snug fit, but it works. So these are, you know, these are from a local supplier, and I have shared his page quite a few times. Creations from Rod in the UK. He makes bespoke units for a lot of the IKEA collects furniture. Check out other my YouTube videos, and also check out my Facebook page, because I've got loads and loads of photographs of my units as I've purchased them. So yeah, so we know that these fit well. This, you know, this looks great. Yeah, we've done that job. Also, we were talking about Nouveau drops. I've got 2 here that I need to make my little swatches for. So based on how I've done the last ones, as you can see here, just done a series of dots, stuff like that. So that's what I will do here. Give it a little shake. Sometimes it comes out a bit, well, a bit splodgy, but I think I've seen people just test it out on a tiny bit of card. I think it's something to do with air bubbles, you know. So what I've been doing is just doing a sequence of little, slightly different sizes, and that one went a bit ooh. I'm sure we can scrape that bit off and start going. So as you can see, it's, you know, it's technique. I think the thing is to come up, because it does leave a little drip. I think the bigger you go, slightly easier. And you see there's a slight head on it. They do flatten out as they dry. Can you see? There's a slight head to it, but these ones are starting to soften down, so they will. You do need to leave these overnight as well. They don't dry like instantly. This was from Arco Crafts. When I visited America a few years ago, there's this store that I managed to buy a lot of products. Again, in the UK, we don't have access to a lot of these products. So my husband went back there, and it was very interesting, because I said to him, he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want everything." But he was really good in picking up lots of these, and these were $3.49, a few quid in English pounds. So yeah, they're great. So that's that one. We need to move that aside. That needs to dry overnight. And this one is the glossy white. There was, I've seen lots used, lots of white or clear ones being used, and they look great. This is white on white. I'm not really sure how this is gonna equate to, whether you can see, but it's absolutely chucking down here on the south coast of England. The light is very poor, so I apologise if there's not good light. Well, that's not too bad. So this one is flattened out. Can you see? A lot better. I really love that. Also, tip, I don't know who created this tip. Some people have been doing this on top. So depending on how you store it, again, this will have to dry overnight. You can't just, you know, use it. You know, that's what's good about that. I'll show you with some other ones that I've done. And so if you store them this way, you can see the true colour of it. Just be careful you don't smudge that. I've done that before. I've moved them and I've put something on top by accident. So, you know, if you're close to this store, I would recommend you go there. They have some really great stuff. I just wish I could get it all back to the UK. So that is ink swatches done, and the last two of the Nouveau drops I had done. So hope you're having a lovely afternoon. I'm hoping to do some more videos as I get more confident with using the video process. I would say that it is certainly a learning technique for me. I love these ideas though. However you do it, whatever system you have in place, I'm sure, you know, is whatever works best for you. I've tried lots of different systems over the time, and actually seeing things like this works for me. But however you do it, hope you're having a lovely day, and if you can get some crafting done on such a miserable day like today here in the UK, then that's great. Have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.